Here is how to mount and power on your Wolf Gateway. Push it onto the DIN rail until it clicks. Wire your connectors first, then plug them into the gateway. Plug in the Ethernet cable. If your gateway has the 4G modem, screw on the main and auxiliary antennas. Now turn on the main switch. The lights come on. After about 30 seconds, your gateway is ready. The Wolf Gateway gets its IP address from your network automatically. Here is how to find that address. Open your router in a web browser, type its address, then log in. We show a microtik here as an example. Yours may look a little different. Now find the list of devices on your network. On this microtik, it is under IP, then DHCP server, then leases. Every FoxIoT device's MAC address starts with 8C1F64. You find the full address on the label. Turn on the filter and type it in. Now only your Wolf is left, and its IP address is right next to it. Use this IP address to open the Wolf Gateway in your browser. In this example, we will show how to find the Wolf using Nmap, a network scan tool. Open a terminal and run this nmap command. At the end, use your own network range. After a few seconds, the scan shows every device on the network. Every Wolf has its MAC address printed on a label on the case. Find that same MAC in the list. The label leaves out the colons, but it is the same address. The IP address next to it is your Wolf. Use it to open the Wolf Gateway in your browser. Open your browser and go to the IP address you found with port 5080. This is the Wolf sign-in page. For the first login, the username is foxiot and the password is also foxiot. The first time you sign in, the Wolf asks you to set your own password. A short password is not accepted. The password must have at least 10 characters with uppercase, lowercase, a number, and a special character. Delete the short one and type a strong password. Type the same password again in the second field. Click Update Password. Your gateway is now protected with your own password. After your first login, it is good to secure your account. Give it your own name and turn on two-factor login. Open Users and click your account. Change the username and the display name to your own. Then save the changes. Open your account again and scroll to two-factor authentication. Type your current password and click Enable 2FA. A QR code appears. Open your Authenticator app on your phone, for example, Google Authenticator, and scan this code. Now every login asks for a code after your password. Log out to try it. Sign in with your new username and password. Then type the 6-digit code from your app. Your account is now protected. A VPN gives you a safe way to reach your gateway from outside, so you can manage it remotely wherever you are. Let's set up WireGuard. Open Network, then the WireGuard tab. Click Edit Configuration to open the form. In Address, put the IP address your VPN admin gave you in CIDR form. In Endpoint, put the server's hostname and port. In Allowed IPs, put the network ranges that go through the tunnel. Set Persistent Keep Alive to 25 if your server is behind NAT. Paste the server's peer public key. Click Save WireGuard. The gateway made a private key that never leaves the device, plus a public key to share. Copy this controller public key. The server needs it. The new settings need a reboot. Open System and click Restart Controller. Now switch to your WireGuard server. This is just one example. Your side might be a web panel, a terminal, or handled by your network admin. However it's done, add the gateway as a new peer. Give it the controller public key you copied, and set its allowed IPs to the gateway's tunnel address. Once both ends trust each other, the tunnel can come up. Let's make sure the WireGuard tunnel is up. First, log into the Wolf controller. Open Network. On the Status tab, the WG1 interface shows up with its tunnel IP 172.30.0.23 and some traffic already counted. Go to the Ping tab and type the server's tunnel address, 172.30.0.1. That's just our example. Yours will be different. Click Ping. 4 replies come back. The tunnel works end to end. You can even open the controller itself over the VPN. In a new tab, go to its tunnel address. The Wolf's own login page loads over the tunnel. Sign in and you're managing the controller from anywhere, as securely as if you were on the local network. In this example, we show how to make an SSH key for the Wolf Gateway. Open a terminal and run this command. It makes a new key pair with its own name so it does not touch your other keys. When it asks for a passphrase, type a password to protect the key, then type it again to confirm. The key pair is now saved. Next, show the public key with this command. This is your public key. Copy the whole line. In the next step, you paste it into the Wolf app. Now open the Wolf app and go to Network, then SSH Keys. In the Add Key box, paste the public key you copied. It is one long line. Click Add Key to put it in the list, then Save Keys. The gateway needs a reboot to turn on the key. Open System, then Restart Controller. After the reboot, the key is active and you can log in over SSH. Now check the key works. From your computer, run SSH with your key and the gateway address. Enter the passphrase you set to unlock the key. Then you are in. You are logged in as root on the Wolf Gateway. Key-based login works. Let's check the audit log and the firmware version. In the left menu, open Users, then click Audit Log. The audit log records every login and every configuration change on the gateway. Here are your recent actions: the login, the password change, the two-factor setup, the firewall change. Each row shows who did it and when. Now open System. The Versions block shows the software on the gateway. The version that matters most is the operating system. That is the firmware we publish on the FoxIoT website. Compare it with the latest release there and update if a newer one is out. By default, the Wolf opens 2 ports on your local network, port 22 for SSH and port 5080 for the web interface. Once your VPN works, you can close the web interface on the LAN. Open Network, then Firewall. Add port 5080 and set the action to drop. This blocks the web interface on the local network. The only way in is now through the VPN. Keep SSH open so you can still get to the device on site if the VPN ever fails. You can also open a port. If you run a Modbus server or gateway, add its port, here 502, and set the action to accept. Without this, devices on the local network cannot connect to it. These rules apply to ETH0. Save the firewall, then restart the controller to apply.